Take two.
Wow. Okay, so 2025, well, we're already here at the end of this first month. So much has taken place. We're getting settled in. We thought we would end the month with a Q&A or start February with a Q&A and just see. I know you guys have questions because we've been a little bit quiet in a lot of ways.
It's been a blur. We started back to school, made a few trips in that time. And
Yes.
Yeah, and we also unpacked our house and got settled in.
So first 2025 Q&A, here we come.
The first question is, how is my mom doing? And if you don't know, my mom actually had a really big health scare that was terrifying for us. She was in South Carolina helping my grandparents and ended up having to go to the hospital, had a kidney stone and an infection, and her body actually went septic. So in literally a day, she was in ICU, and almost all the siblings drove there to be with her. So I took Charles and Brookie, and Chad stayed here and held down the fort. But yes, it was just miraculous how God helped her. And she was in the hospital for a while, but praise the Lord, she's back home. And I think it's just going to be a long recovery. So she's doing it so much better. Praise the Lord. He really did answer our prayers.
On that note, thank you for, I know that so many people were praying. Our church, just countless people were praying, and it's a miracle that she's home like she is. But yeah, she's still got some recovery.
She's very weak, but thankfully my older sister Michael is staying there at the house and helping her, making meals and just being an angel. So we're very thankful for that.
So we have another question here. It's, why is Carson being called Charles? So which Carson right now is kind of, he wants to transition to, instead of being called Carson, to Charles, and which is very fitting.
I kind of made a mistake in that, because when he was a baby, I thought, oh, Charles sounds like such an old sounding name, but now I love it, and so we're attempting to switch over. It's been hard just because for 9 years we've called him Carson. So
my name is Chad. That's what I go by, but it's actually Charles. I'm Charles Stephen Payne III. We named Carson after myself, my father, my grandfather, who passed last year. And so he's actually Charles Stephen Payne IV. And I don't know what happened.
I didn't love the name Charles when he was the baby. I thought that just sounds like an older man. And so I was like, well, if your mom called you Chad, I can call him Carson, which has nothing to do with his name. So that was a mistake on my part, because now I love the name Charles. And I guess it was probably last year.
Oh, he loves the name Charles.
Well, when we started visiting Grandpa Payne a lot, he's like, Mom, I really want to be called Charles instead of Carson. And I'm like, oh my goodness, how in the world are we going to switch this
I had
now?
a little bit of deja vu, because I was like, I remember around his age, I said, I don't want to be called Chad, just a nickname. I said, let's go with my name, Charles. And it never stuck. No, everybody... it was just too hard. And it is hard right now. We're trying to make the transition, but
it's been almost a year that we've been trying to switch over, and I think we're finally to the point where we're all calling him Charles, except for a couple of the kids, they call him
the younger kids. Yeah.
But everybody, our group here, our community, everyone calls him
Our
Charles.
church honestly helped us out so much, because we wear name tags. You check in your children, and that was a big thing, because he would wear name tags, and I would see it all the time. I'd hear other people calling him Charles, and I'm like, that really helped me just put a name tag on.
So that's my mistake. I should have just.
It's a great name, and he has incredible men to look. His grandpa, his great grandpa, and just they leave a legacy. I'm hoping I can be half the man that they were.
Goodness,
but yeah, that is why we're calling him Charles, his name.
The third question, what nutrients should I prioritize in my health? I got a lot of questions about this since we've been on our health journey for some years now.
And you came to the right place with that kind of a question, because Erin, she doesn't tell this to people, but she I think that's one of her loves and passions, is finding out new things and understanding how the body works and nutrition and incorporating that into food, the foods that we eat. That is like just a thing that she's been pursuing and studying and listening to doctors and medical professionals. And so she's come up with just a lot. She's gained a lot of wisdom. And so
You're very sweet.
I think she is a great person to ask that kind of question.
I feel like I've learned a lot. I feel like it's overwhelming right now with all the marketing for supplements and diets and what you should buy, what you should eat. For us personally, I feel like just prioritizing finding whole foods that are in their natural form, natural state, limiting anything that's going to be packaged or canned or anything like that.
Minimally processed.
Yeah. So protein, try to get grass-fed organic if that's in your budget. And then you want to do fiber, put an emphasis on fiber and your healthy fats, avocados, butters, healthy oils, and then healthy carbs, just to a minimal. But sometimes for me, it's easier to say, what should I limit? Sugar is a big thing to limit. Basically, your white flours. Now, if you're grinding your wheat or finding unbleached flour, that's a little better. But yeah, stay away from your bad oils, and you could do a quick research and find out what your unhealthy seed oils are. So basically, try to limit those three things and then say, okay, when I'm making my food and making my family's food, try to prioritize the things that are important. And yeah, I think that's a good place to start.
And when Erin, she came to me, she's like, what do we do? What do we, all these things that she was learning, I was like, where do you start? I was like, well, you just start with one thing at a time, slowly change. But yeah, you should really do a whole video on that. If you think she should do a video on just like what we do and how because we're trying to also live healthy, but we're also trying to budget. We're trying to, be wise and not just spend all this money on food because it is so expensive. And so trying to be wise in how you do go about that and do that. So if you think she should do a video on that, put a comment below and
Well, I love to see the difference in the way I feel, the way my kids feel and act, and they don't complain about things, when they're eating very healthy, nutrient-dense foods. And I think the healthier you eat, the more they really get adjusted to that. Mm-hmm. So they don't really crave and, ask for other things at this point. One more thing I was going to say under that is make sure that you're really putting an emphasis on your sleep quality as well. That plays a big deal into your health and how you handle stress. Is that William?
Yeah.
Because you could have the healthiest diet, healthiest meal plan, workout every day. And if you can't handle stress in your life and be able to deal with that, and really it's all related to your spiritual side too, your relationship with the Lord, having that inner peace to be able to handle stress.
Another question is, has it been a difficult adjustment moving to a neighborhood? And so that's two different answers you get if you ask me or Erin. And so for myself, it's not as a hard of adjustment. Yes, I'd rather be in the country, and that's the goal, is that's what we're moving to, that's what we're saving for. And so I think that we are definitely where we're supposed to be right now. Yeah. And we are adjusting. The kids are adjusting. We were a little nervous at first, but the house is so much larger than we've ever lived in.
Yes.
And so that is a blessing.
Unbelievable, honestly.
It's perfect. But Erin's always lived in the country, so her answer might be it's a harder adjustment for sure.
Yeah, I think for me, I've just been trying to think about the pros. I mean, we're close to everything. Makes it so easy when we go places and run errands. There's a walking trail throughout the whole neighborhood, which is wonderful because I love to walk. I love to be outside. The kids love that. So I think and I love the backyard. The backyard is beautiful. I mean, it's a golf course, so it looks very gorgeous.
It feels a lot more open
yes.
than it is. But
there are a lot of things that I love about the neighborhood. But yes, I'm always going to miss the land and the country lifestyle.
Yeah. It definitely has taught us community. Like, we're meeting neighbors, connecting with people, and being able to just show the kids like how you do that in that environment. I feel like, not everybody's going to live in the country. Not everybody does. And so being able to have that flexibility to move and follow wherever God leads you, because that's the best place to be, we believe, is wherever you feel like God is leading you. And one of the things was closer to church. We're so much closer to church, and we're pretty much there, and in the vehicle. So yeah, that's been a huge blessing.
Somebody gave us the playground set. Chad's done some work on it and needed a little work, and the kids have loved it.
Yeah, the Lord's provided in so many different ways, washer and dryer, so many different things, moving expenses and different things like that, a free playground, and the kids are just, we're getting adjusted. It's going to take some time, and, we miss the country for sure. Kind of on that same note, a question was, did you find a home for your goats? Where did your goats go? And it's bittersweet because, one, they went to a family that absolutely loves them. Yeah. I think they sent you a picture last week with them. Because they had a little one and they were like literally cuddling on the couch, brought it inside. So they love these goats, and it's so sweet. They're in our church.
And they're just a few minutes from us. Yeah. So that has been so nice, just knowing where the goats are. We can visit them. And because I think we were talking about the other day, we've had goats since Carson was a year old.
We didn't realize
Charles was a year old.
Yeah.
So, yes. So we've really had goats. That's all our kids have known.
Yeah.
They love them.
Yeah. We'll have them again one day. I'm confident we will.
Will you be doing renovating and decorating videos for your new home, or possibly a home tour? So that is, we have finished my bedroom, Charles's room, and William's room, and the girls' room.
Which we loved what we did in the other house. Yes, so and most of the stuff, honestly, I would say 75% of the stuff that we did in the other house, besides obviously painting walls, we took with us. And so the projects, the furniture builds, all that, we just took it down and we moved it. So we kind of like reduplicated it, but we found that this house is so much larger. It's like, wow, we have a lot of empty space. So I'm trying to keep it that way, just to keep a more of a minimalist approach and just not get extra stuff. And
we have 2 rooms left to do. We have the living room that we're gonna hopefully redo, and then we have a schoolroom, which I've never had before, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
We have a design. Chad's gonna be working on that, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll do a video on that, just because I think that schooling is a big deal for us and our children, and so having a dedicated space, because we have it, is going to be such a blessing. I feel like we're going to be able to streamline, be a little bit more distraction free, and just have more of a schedule routine that's even better than what we have.
It's going to be wonderful. There was so many questions about, why did I start making tallow? How did I start making tallow? And how do I use the tallow balm? So I'll try to be brief with this one. Almost 2 years ago, I started going through this health journey and researching ingredients, and that's a big deal for me, is just to get whatever I'm going to put on my skin, look at it, look up the ingredients. And I remember being shocked when I started looking up, I thought was great. I mean, it was expensive skincare, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So I'd Google it and be like, oh my goodness, this is kind of toxic, sort of. So I'm like, I can't believe I paid so much.
Other countries don't actually allow it to be on your body in other countries, but we do in the US.
And so there was this app called the EWG, or Healthy Living app. And I would just I'd put whatever product it was in, and I'd scan it, and it'd tell you, oh, this is cancer causing, this is toxic, this is like all of these things. And I was just like shocked. And so I started researching benefits of making your own skincare and what to add. And tallow was just like, oh, this is so good for your skin. It's full of vitamins, and it's...
So I was skeptical at first. I was like, really? Tallow?
Yeah. It's like, do you know what that is? But so I said, well, Chad, what if I just buy these ingredients, everything I've tried, start making this, and we give it for Christmas gifts in our little Christmas boxes we send out to our friends and family. And so I did that 2 years ago, and started playing around with these different ingredients, researching the most beneficial for your skin, and just, it was so much fun. I absolutely loved the process. And we gave them to everybody for Christmas, and everybody's like, this is wonderful. Can I get more? And I'm like, I guess I need to start making more, because everybody's asking for more. So in that process, we're like, well, maybe we could add this to our site. And it kind of blew up because everybody loved it. And I just really found they're very expensive oils. So it's really feasible when
That's
you're
what's the
making.
most expensive part about
It's
about the
hard
tallow.
to make if you're wanting to make a small batch, but it's doable when I'm making huge batches of this, and I love it. It's been something that I look forward to. So as far as how do I use it, I have a very simple skincare routine. I double cleanse my face at night, and then I put on a mild toner, let that dry, and then I take like a pea-sized amount. And with tallow, you want to really push that into your skin and massage it because it needs to absorb into those pores. So I just put like a pea-sized amount and then rub it in my face and skin, and I sleep with it just like that. In the morning when I wake up, I do a mild toner again and do the same thing and basically use it as my primer or my moisturizer for my makeup. So that's pretty much what we do. And we have made so much tallow.
We made a lot.
And thank you for the reviews and the messages, the comments. That just really is so encouraging.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just research whatever skincare products you're putting on your face and say, is this something that I really want to go on my skin because it's easily absorbed. The best motherhood tips for an overwhelmed mama. This is hard because
You've been overwhelmed.
I think we've all been there at different times, different seasons in our life where you just like, I can't do all of this. It's too much. There's not enough time in a day. And I started thinking about it, and obviously you have the spiritual side, the emotional side, and the physical side. So for the spiritual side, I feel like it's hard to find that time when you're juggling, doing everything as a mom and a wife. But even if it's 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, while you're nursing your baby, while you're washing dishes, find that time where you can have your own personal time with the Lord, where you can communicate with Him, open the Bible, say, God, what are you going to teach me today? And this kind of flows into the other question. I'm struggling to get into my Bible this year. What would you recommend? There's this one app or a website. Chip Ingram is a Bible teacher, and his website and his app has been really a game changer for us. We've been listening to him for years, but he takes these huge, profound truths and makes it so easy for you to understand. It's so practical, everyday practicality. He's so humble and easy to relate with.
Yeah.
But he has this one program on his app or his website. It's free. It's called Daily Discipleship. And it's basically like you have this spiritual mentor. It's literally 10 minutes a day. You sit down, you turn it on. He has these different series you can go through. But basically, he opens the Bible for 10 minutes and shows you how to read the Bible, how to study the Bible, how to understand it. And then he'll give you homework. Okay, for 10 minutes, you study this passage and you'll have questions. And it basically helps you learn how to study the Bible and have this spiritual discipler who will help you through the process. So if I could recommend that, I just started one of his programs this week and it's been wonderful.
Yeah.
So if you're struggling knowing where to start, I feel like that's really huge.
Yeah,
to have
and having that also locally is
community
is crucial.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you got to get involved in a local church somewhere. So find one, and that teaches the Bible, that teaches Jesus, and is true, and get plugged in, meet the people there, because that kind of goes into the next.
Yeah, having
aspect.
that community will really encourage you emotionally. I feel like having someone that you can be vulnerable with, ask the hard questions that can help you when you're struggling. And just be real.
Yeah.
And
that's not going to be everybody.
Yeah,
it's going to be maybe a couple people maybe.
It's true.
That you can get.
So emotionally, I feel like being able to connect with your husband, be honest, say, I'm struggling, I feel overwhelmed. Where can we kind of meet in the middle? Where can you help me? Chad has been that so many times for me, saying, if you're feeling overwhelmed with this, let me take this. Let me pick up this. Let me do this. And let's try to help each other in this. So that's been so wonderful. I could not do it without him. And then lastly, physically, I feel like find something that you enjoy. What do you enjoy doing with your kids? What do you actually look forward to? Because I like to have something to look forward to. Every day, I look forward to being outside with my kids. So every day, sometime we're going to go on a walk. We're going to be outside. We're going to play. And it's relaxing. It's like a little reset or refresh button for me. Yeah, recharge. That's what I'm looking for. So it might be different for you. I love to cook. And so if I get in the kitchen, it's automatically, I am happy in the kitchen. I love being in the kitchen. So find something that you look forward to. that you can do with your kids, that you can do together. That's fun every day. So you have something to look forward to. Right now, since we've moved to this house, I think we're all excited about our new history lesson we've been doing. And the kids all get excited about it. I get excited about it. So that's been just like a highlight for our day. So I know that might sound simple, but find something that you actually enjoy, that you get excited about, that you can do every day.
So yeah, there was many more questions, and we would love to answer them all if we had the time.
Yeah.
But I think some of these Erin really should do maybe further detailed videos on, because I think it would encourage a lot of people. I know it would. So if you think she should, what topic it would be that most interests you, and we'll keep you updated on what we're doing.
Yeah.
We're getting settled in, so that's going to be some videos coming up. We're finding
We will do a home tour.
New things to do, new things to locally, taking advantage of parks and
We're
state
going to
parks
the zoo
and-
today, so
Yep, we're gonna do a little field
Very
trip.
excited
It's
about
about 15 minutes from where we're at, and so it's
wonderful.
it is a different dynamic, but we are getting adjusted. The Lord's been good. We've really felt that sense of community from our church. I can't say that strongly enough. It's just to find people, like-minded people
Yeah.
in a church that you can connect with and fellowship with and do life with. We've been so encouraged and uplifted by our church. And so I would encourage you to do the same thing. And if you have more questions, feel free to ask them, and I'm sure we'll
Try
do
to
another
make the time.
Q&A soon. But God bless you, and we hope you have a great day.
Thank you.